Good day. This video is a quick coverage of all the threats that you do get within your email environment. That's a persistent threat within your environment. So many companies we've seen has been compromised because people click on links and open files that they should not. And the problem is that you cannot train a person not to click on a link. People have to click on links to do their jobs. But now, the way this works, for example, if we look at this email very quickly, it says there's a legal action for unpaid invoices. We have a name similar to the country where I'm residing, so that it is. And so you think it's actually possibly somebody that could take legal action against you. So basically, let's look at this quickly. It says, good day. On numerous occasions, we have been requesting payment for services rendered. See the listed invoices attached. We have requested a meeting on this matter several times and nothing has happened. And the last one on the 17th of January 2018 regarding this matter, but we've received no further response. It is over 3 months. And they carry on like this. So it is a threatening. So this is usually the type. When we do social engineering, when we actually look at phishing in testing environments within enterprises, you will use either something that is sort of like an entertaining component for a person that he wants to click on, or a threatening letter like this. Now, if we go and look at what's inside this letter, now I just have to say beforehand, antivirus software is running, real-time protection and up to date, and the antivirus software I use, I do trust. Many of these applications or phishing attempts or applications that the guy write would bypass your antivirus software because it's new, it's not up to date, and specifically if they do target you directly, it's not in the wild. So when we look at that, first and foremost, I see this that it says the document is protected. Now it says open the document in Microsoft Office. Previewing offline is not available for protected documents. If this document was downloaded from your email, please click enable editing from the yellow bar above. Now, this is normally not the case. What Microsoft Outlook would do is if you click on a document on the top like that, it will not show you an image like that. It will actually show you the document as a preview. That's the first one. Now, the way we'll look at this quickly is we will not open a document because the document might have macros or any triggers to execute a script. So what we'll do, we'll go here, we'll save all the attachments. I'll save both. I've got a special directory for possible viruses and I'm saving it into there. But before I actually look at the files, what I'd like to do is I've created a thing that we can actually look at the header, the message options, where it's coming from. So there's a couple of ways of doing that. I've created a thing called options, message options, that I can quickly look at. The other one is you can double click on it and go and look at the message options. The message options is right up here, which we've created. We'll click on that and quickly look at the source path of the email. So it says here the return path. So the email is presumably from Annika Botha at yandex.com. It is to info@sacs.co.za. It was received from vpsmedis.co.za and it gives us an IP address. And it was accepted by our email server externally. Now, further, what we can actually look at is that it was actually accessed by webmail medis.co.za. So it looks like possibly the email account at this place was compromised. And if we can actually look at which is the user that was compromised possibly, we can actually see that it is drvpmncube@medis.co.za. So that's the actual sender. So that's a person whose password was actually compromised and which this syndication or single person or someone was used to actually send a broadcast mail out to many people. You can actually see there's no to sign in here as well. So basically what they've done, there's no to, and they've created a BCC and they've sent it to many people. Now, once we've saved that, we could quickly look at the content of those files. So let's actually look at that quickly. First and foremost, let's actually look at what is in the archive, the actual compressed file. That says R20. So that's a RAR file. We can actually go into that. Copies of legal action for unpaid invoices, copy and copy 2, they're all the same. So it looks like it's possibly, they want you to think it's multiple invoices. Then we go back. I'm going to look at that document. Now, remember, do not open it. You need an editor to actually go look at the content of that. Now, the editor I use is Notepad++. Really like that. So if we look at the content, so this is the content of that file. Now, let's actually look at this. That is now the Word.doc. Now, the difference between a .doc, which is the older version of Microsoft Word, and the docx is the newer version, which actually contains zipped files inside an XML file. Now, what you can see here, there's object data. So as you can see, there's some scripting coming down here. First and foremost, here's a picture that's been created using JPEG. And this picture that we see here, I can assume only that this picture is that one we saw right in the beginning when we clicked on the file and it said to us, this file is protected, you have to go open it. So immediately this shows you a JPEG, and it's trying to confuse you to open that. Now, and the next thing is what they'll do there is object data. They're dumping some data in here, which can be referenced back. So let's actually look at that quickly. Now, the data here could be binary, it's pure binary, to create a file to be executed. So if we go a little bit lower, so this is all still within the doc file in the Word document that you think it's an invoice. Let's go down. We can convert that later to ASCII, and I'll look at that separately. Okay, so that is the end of that. We'll look at that separately. Still some data that come here. Now here's another one. So here what they've done is created, you can see it's a binary file. So it's a binary file. It says here OLE, so object link in a embedding link. So what they're doing here is trying to link a file back and actually create possibly the binary file inside there. We haven't done the analysis of that, but this is a quick view to show you how easy you can get compromised. And here's some more files that they actually do. So they're actually a lot of content, a lot of different files that are in here. And then here, as you can see, the object class they're using, Shockwave. So it's Flash. So Flash, which hopefully you've taken off all your machines within your environment, at home, enterprise, etc. So what they're trying to do is using Flash to compromise the system. Now, once you have enabled it within Word, Word has got a little bit more rights and it will execute a file. And then right at the end here, what I've seen when I looked at it earlier is that they do link back. Let me actually show you here, link back to a website that we can actually look at. So if you actually look at here, so here test1.r uses a Russian site, new build, and the PHP and data equals send, and its thread is 0. So it actually creates possibly a new thread. It grabs all your data from your machine, depending on the rights that you have got as a user, and possibly submits that. So we'll look a little bit deeper, but this is just to show you how easy it is for them to compromise your system. So do not click on any links that you don't know. If you don't know, ask your IT help desk or security officer to make sure that it's either coming from inside or it's actually a trusted environment, and make sure your antivirus software is updated. However, at the end of the day, you need to actually be more vigilant than actually just clicking and opening and worrying about these things. Ask somebody and practice safe hacks.